A very good evening and thank you so much for joining us at this time. Today is Thursday, 7th April 2022, which is equivalent to Edzul Hajj 1443 after the Hijrah of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. My name is Zubairu Ahmad Bashir. First, the highlights. President Muhammadu Buhari approves the 2023 population and housing census scheduled to be conducted in April next year. Federal government declares Monday 11th and Tuesday 12th July 2022 as public holidays to mark this year's Eid al-Kabir celebration. United Nations warns that 8 of the 18 regions in Somalia are now at a serious risk of sliding into famine by September due to a devastating drought and the war in Ukraine. Paul Pogba will be in Turin tomorrow to finalize his return to Juventus, according to reports in the Italian media. These and more coming shortly. Stay with us. And now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the 2023 population and housing census scheduled to be conducted in April next year. The Executive Chairman Nation Population Commission, Isa Kwara, stated this today at a press briefing at Nigerian Union of Journalists NUJ Press Center, Sokoto. According to the NPC Executive Chairman represented by the Federal Commissioner NPC Sokoto Office, Chiso Abdullahi Dattijo, President Muhammadu Buhari's 2023 census approval demonstrated his desire to place the welfare of Nigerians at the center of governance in the country. The National Population Commission will engage over 1 million personnel, mostly Nigerian for the census exercise. Before the commencement of the general census, the federal government has approved the trail census, which began since 27th June and will last to 31st July 2022, with the aim of testing all aspects of the census operations, including logistics, among others. Nigerian population as at 2006 at 140 million people and is currently estimated to be not less than 220 million people, but with the forthcoming election census, accurate and reliable data will present itself to Nigerians. The Federal Commissioner Chiso Abdullahi solicited the support of all relevant stakeholders in the state while appealing to NUJ Sokoto to select enumeration areas that will be inspected by its members to ensure a credible trial census in the state. The Nigerian Police Force says it will synergize with the other security agencies to ensure a crime-free Salah celebration. The Sokoto State Police Commissioner Muhammad Hussein Gumel stated this while briefing newsmen at the police headquarters, Sokoto.
But we have deployed about 800 personnel to various nooks and crannies of the state and to every Eid praying ground. And we have deployed 17 vehicles. The personnel that we deployed include intelligence personnel. The intelligence department have started work around the clock since yesterday to sweep all the Eid grounds around Sokoto.
While noting that the command has put in place several security measures, the commissioner said the command is collaborating with sister agencies to ensure peaceful Salah celebration across the state. Gomel also paraded 2 men, Muawiyah Adamu from Kaduna and Muhammad Buhari from Takatuku in Bodinga, who were both suspected for kidnapping of a young boy of 13 years and collected ransom. Muhammad Hussein Gumel then called on parents and family members to caution their kids to be of good character for a better society. In another development, the Sokoto State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has assured of its readiness to secure lives and properties before, during and after the Eid Kabir celebrations in the state. The Corps Commandant Muhammad Salih Dada gave the assurance today while briefing press in his state office. He noted that the command will dispatch 200 personnel to Central Eid Ground where Sultan and other important dignitaries observe their prayers. Salih Dada, however, called on all to support the Corps with useful information for effective policing. Still in Sokoto, the state government has been urged to look into the possibility of paying allowances to the people living with a disability in the state to enable them celebrate Salah with ease. The call was made by the chairman Nigeria Association for the Blind Sokoto State Branch, Aminu Ibrahim Zoramawa, in a press statement issued to Vision FM by the Secretary General of the Association, Aminu Kasimu. The statement also commended Sokoto State government for the assistance being given to needy and people living with a disability in the state. Zoramawa also used the media began to call on his members to collect their permanent voter cards for them to elect leaders of the choice, as the Independent National Electoral Commission extended the registration on the Eid al-Kabir Salah festival. Zormawa urged his members to pray for peace of the state and country in general. The federal government has declared Monday 11th and Tuesday 12th July 2022 as public holidays to mark this year's Eid al-Kabir celebration. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Arigbeshola, announced this in a statement by the Ministry's Permanent Secretary, Dr. Shuaib Balgori. Arigbeshola, who congratulated all Muslims and Nigerians both at home and in diaspora on the occasion, urged them to use the period to pray for peace and prosperity for the country. According to him, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is committed to the security of lives and properties of all Nigerians, empowering the citizens for a successful living, the provisions of social investments, programs, and adequate security in the schools. The minister, however, urged Nigerians to take responsibility by reporting any suspicious individuals and criminal activities they observed around them to law enforcement agencies. He also enjoined Nigerians to be vigilant and observant of intruders in their communities. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says fresh registration in the ongoing nationwide continuous voter registration has hit over 10 million as at July 4th. The Commission disclosed this in Abuja. Musa Yusuf Sanyina has the details.
The Nigeria Electoral Umpire also disclosed that over 9 million registrants completed their registrations, out of which more than 3 million registered through online and over 6 million registrants did physical registration. The gender breakdown of the PIGA indicated that 4,682,036 of the registrants who completed the registrations are males, while 4,773,162 are females, of which 71,998 are persons with disabilities. The Commission also disclosed that it had so far received 25,056,633 applications, including those for voter transfer, request for replacement of permanent voters card, update of voter information record, among others.
Very many thanks, Musa Yusuf Sanyina. The Northern Elders Forum had yesterday raised fears that ethnicity and greed were threatening to frustrate the emergence of a country with the capacity to turn around its fortunes in 2023. The organization expressed concern over developments in many aspects of Nigerian politics as they relate to preparations for the 2023 elections and beyond. NEF Director of Publicity and Advocacy, Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed in Abuja, accused politicians. He said these developments threaten already distressed democratic process in Nigeria. The NGF noted that prospects for safe conduct of electoral activities and a free and fair election are being threatened by the conduct of politicians, saying it is necessary to put the nation away from its current precarious positions. Striking university unions, including the Academic Staff Union of Universities and Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, have lamented the effect of the no work, no pay policy invoked by the federal government, saying it was meant to weaken their resolve. The national president of ASU, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, and the SANU's national vice president, Dr. Abdulsabur Salam, spoke in a separate interviews with the Punch newspaper. Osodeke told our correspondent that the last time he received his salary was in February, adding that the government's strategy of withholding their salaries is meant to weaken their resolve over the union's demands. He, however, said members of the union will remain steadfast even if they will do menial jobs or embark on farming to get money. He added that 3 weeks after they had the last meeting with the renegotiation committee, nothing had been heard from the government. Governors of the 36 states of the Federation under the aegis of Nigerian Governors Forum has yesterday painted a grim picture of the economy with a dwindling revenue allocation, saying payment of salaries would be difficult in the months ahead. Hussein Nuhu Isa completes the report.
The forum raised the alarm in a presentation it made to the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating daily oil consumption in the country. It, however, attributed the situation to the inability of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, to make remittance accruable from oil and gas into the Federation account. The forum disclosed that the Federation net oil and gas revenue has been declining since 2019 and were projected to decline significantly in 2022 by between 3 billion naira and up to 4.4 billion naira if no action was taken to halt it. The presentation was signed on behalf of the chairman of the forum, Governor Kayode Fayemi, by the head, Legislative, Liaison, Peace and Security, Hajia Fatima Y. Usman Kastina.
You are listening to news on Vision FM 92.5, your community-friendly radio. You can listen to Vision FM News live on the internet by logging into visionfmradio.ng. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can follow us by using the handle at Vision FM Nigeria across all platforms. Ahead on the news, the federal government said Nigerians, especially residents of the Federal Capital Territory and some other cities, may continue to witness fuel queues until there was complete deregulation of petrol. Details after this break. Stay with us. On foreign scene, the United Nations has warned that 8 of the 18 regions in Somalia are now at a serious risk of sliding into famine by September due to devastating drought and the war in Ukraine. At least 200 children have died of malnutrition and disease since January. The number of people suffering from food insecurity has increased to 7 million people compared to 4.5 million in May. The warning comes as the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization released new figures showing that nearly 10% of the world's population are affected by hunger. Eastern Africa and the Sahel are the most affected regions in Africa. And on business news, the federal government said Nigerians, especially residents of the Federal Capital Territory and some other cities, may continue to witness fuel queues until there was complete deregulation of petrol. For the details of these and other business stories, it is over to Bashir Aminu Sabo from the business desk.
It's a pleasure to have you on the business news desk. The federal government said yesterday Nigerians, especially residents of the Federal Capital Territory FCT Abuja and some other cities, may continue to witness fuel queues until there was complete deregulation of petrol. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Timi Silva stated this while briefing State House correspondent at the end of the weekly Federal Executive Council FEC meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Council's chamber, Presidential Villa, Abuja. The minister also said the council approved the award and procurement for provision of a comprehensive hostel facility in Yanagwa, adjacent to the Nigerian Content Towers, at 22 billion naira to Megastar Technical Construction Company with completion period of 24 months. Responding to questions on the persistent fuel queues in Abuja and other parts of the country, the minister said the situation, particularly in the FCT, will persist for a while until fuel was finally deregulated. He explained that the fuel queues were not caused by shortage in supply of fuel, but for the reluctance of petroleum marketers to sell at the recommended retail price. Still talking business, a team from the Dangote Group has arrived at the state capital of Nasarawa to begin civil works for the construction of the Dangote Sugar Factory after 3 years into its acquisitions of 68,000 hectares of land in Tunga, Awe local government of Nasarawa State. Mariud Al-Sunni, a member of the two-man team from the headquarters of Dangote Group, revealed this when they paid a courtesy visit to the government house Lapia on Wednesday. According to him, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, chairman of the Dangote Group, had directed his contractor to handle the project, which, when started, will generate employment for over 1,000 people from the immediate community. Nasarawa State Governor Engineer Abdullahi Sule said the major reason for bringing investment like the Dangote Sugar Refinery is to bring wealth to the citizens of the state. And that is from the Business News Desk. Back to you in the studio.
Many thanks, Bashir Aminu Sabo with the business news. That ends the news at this hour. Before we go, another looks at stories that made headlines. Executive Chairman, National Population Commission Isa Kwari revealed that President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the 2023 population and housing census scheduled to be conducted in April next year. Federal government has declared Monday 11th and Tuesday 12 July 2022 as public holidays to mark this year's Eid al-Kabir celebration. United Nations has warned that the 18th region in Somalia are now at a serious risk of sliding into famine by September due to a devastating drought and the war in Ukraine. And on sports, Paul Pogba will be in Turin tomorrow to finalize his return to Juventus, according to reports in the Italian media. On behalf of the news editor Musa Yusuf Sanyena, I am Zubairu Ahmad Bashir saying good evening. You can listen to Vision FM on 92.5 on the frequency modulation band while we stream on live at visionfm.ng.